La 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 la
Hey,
la
folks. I'm Camille
la
Who
la
Armstrong,
la
the Performing
la
Arts
la
Renaissance woman.
la
For over
la
40 years, I've worked as a performer, educator, consultant, and coach. But most importantly, I'm a parent. From classrooms to stages to bedtime routines, I've spent my life nurturing creativity, character, and connection in the next generation. This series is for you, whether you're expecting, learning as you go, or parenting for the first time, or even third time around. I'm here to share the insights, tools, and real talk I've gathered over 4 decades of hands on experience. Welcome to Camille Who, the Child Whisperer. I'm so glad you're here. Are your child's meltdowns really the problem? Or is it really how you react to them? I'm Camille Who, and we're going to talk about this. Meltdowns. Are they necessary, or how to deal with them? Okay, let's say that. Children have meltdowns for different reasons, okay? Sometimes they are frustrated. They feel misunderstood. Sometimes they kind of mess up something and they don't know how to fix it. There are many different reasons why a child would feel frustrated, but at a young age, they don't quite know how to express it. And so that becomes more frustrating, and then they just melt down, right? Like they don't know how to deal with it as a child. So that's one reason why a child would have a meltdown. Some meltdowns are because, well, some children are big, feeling, dramatic children, strong willed human beings, and they feel everything big: joy, disappointment, overwhelm. Everything is just big. Guilty. Okay? I didn't make myself, okay? I was always this way. I think that's why theater was so perfect for me. But we're just big. We just, everything that we feel, like I said, joy, love, it's just so big. That's just how we express ourselves. Big, even frustration, and it comes in the form of meltdowns. Some meltdowns are rebellion, and some children are just testing and pushing those buttons and testing the boundaries to see how far they can go. And with some parents, they tend to feed into it, try to, like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Or, all right, no, 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 just take a deep breath. All right, we're gonna do this. Hold on, we can just do. Hold on, we can handle this. It's gonna be okay. Listen, the more you do that, the more you feed into it. You're adding fuel to the fire. Listen, at a young age, because I come from a long line of nurturers. So even before I was even before I was caring for children, I was around adults that cared for children. And here's what I saw a lot growing up: when a child fell, we would it was like it was a practice. We would go and we'd say nothing, right? The whole thing, because what you want to do, your instinct is, oh my god, oh gosh, are you okay? That's your instinct. But we would we would train ourselves to not say anything and not do anything. So the child will fall, and 9 times out of 10, and it's obviously, if the child is hurt, then the child is going to cry, and that's, we're going to know, right? But we're going to know that the child hurt themselves. We're not ignoring them if they hurt themselves. But 9 times out of 10, and this is assuming this is when they don't hurt themselves, they just fall, because falling is a part of growing up. Goodness. 9 times out of 10, the child fell, and they'd get right back up and keep on walking like nothing ever happened, and keep on playing like nothing ever happened, like never skipped a beat. This is what I learned from an early age is that we don't have to match the child's energy, that we can have them come to us and match our energy. So the more we give, more we try to solve their problem, the more we try to explain their frustration. Oh, I know you're frustrated because of this and that and that. And that's like the more we're just adding more fuel to the fire. But literally, if you just say nothing, and you have to train yourself to do this, parents. I get it. Oh, I get it. You have to train yourself to do it. But the more you know, the more you can grow, right? The more you can try different things and really just practice it. Knowing that most times your child is fine, right? Instead of like catastrophizing in your head. Some of us, and I've been guilty of it, within other areas where I'm like, oh no, that's my child is gonna do this and this is gonna happen and that's gonna happen. But no, we're creating something that did not happen yet. It did not happen. It probably will never happen. But now we're freaking out and going on that track in our brains where we can control where we go in our brains. So if we're training ourselves to go, they're probably okay. Let's see. A lot of times children, they go, and they get up and they go. I swear, watch it happen. Train yourself to do nothing. And this is what happens, I think, is that most parents are like emotionally reacting because of their own core belief systems. Some parents think that their child is being disrespectful, right? So they think it's and some, so they get frustrated because, or they get angry at their child. Some parents think it's a problem, so that they have to help their child fix this problem when their child gets frustrated. And I'm not talking about when a child falls, but when they get frustrated at something, okay? Some parents think this is something that it just needs to stop. Like if their child gets frustrated and has a meltdown, then it's a reflection on what kind of parent that they are. And so they think that it's their job as a parent to make it stop. So they try to distract their child. They try to give them stuff. They try to make them, distract them and redirect their thoughts. And all you're doing, all of these trying to make solutions, all of these are creating, it's just creating more overwhelm, more frustration, more energy that is fueling a fire. That's all it's doing. Some parents, they think that, their child is having a meltdown and they feel embarrassed because maybe they're out on the street, maybe they're in front of family members. And so, they take it as an embarrassment, and now they have to try to, like, come on, please, well, whatever it is, they feel like they have to do something to solve this problem. Most times, all one has to do is absolutely nothing. Okay? I have seen the same children have meltdowns in front of me and have meltdowns in front of their parents. Okay? In front of me, they melt down, and I just watch them. And I swear it lasts 4 seconds. It's like enough time to crinkle up their face and go, and just like calm down, because they look and they realize that it is not affecting me at all. I am going to wait until you're good. And they look around and they realize no one's trying to like help them. And they realize it's not affecting anyone. And they realize that they're pushing those buttons, like the buttons are not doing anything. And they realize, you know what? Okay, I'm the only one acting like this right now. I remember I've had children, goodness, I've had two children actually, one of my children and one of the children that I've nannied, who they're just big feelers, okay? They're just big people, bigger than life. And they're like, I know nothing's wrong with them. I know they're not hurt. I know they're not hungry. I know that they are literally just freaking out. And thinking that something is good, they're gonna get what they want, or they whatever. You go ahead, and I'm gonna watch you. And then they peter out. This was hilarious what I did with my son. My son did it. I wanted to crack up so badly inside myself. I was like, oh my God, this is really happening right now. I think that was the first time I said, let me try doing nothing. Because this guy's like going to always freak out. But if I don't freak out, if I use that was actually a massage technique. Okay, massage. I'm a massage therapist. In case you haven't know that you haven't found this out yet, I think I've mentioned this quite a few times. But a lot of times when you are massaging someone or about to massage someone, you want the person to come down to your vibe, right? And a lot of times you use a very calm voice. Even your touch is not frantic, it's very calm. Sometimes you just put a hand on them just to kind of get them to sort of assimilate to your vibe. And sometimes people come in frantic and all they need is one hand, a calm hand. And they match your vibe, they match your energy. And so that was one of those things like I learned in massage school. Like if I just did nothing, let me see. And this is not like a child falling. That's what I learned growing up. But this is a child just freaking out. What if I just did nothing and see if he matched my vibe? And sure enough, he's like, he starts looking around and he's like, no one else is doing this. It was so funny. You could just see the transition go from like, I'm freaking out, I'm freaking out. Wait, I'm the only one freaking out. Wait, is anybody watching? Okay, you know what? Let me just I'm good. And then I would say to him, you done? He's like, yeah. Like, all right, cool, let's go do something else. And that was it. That lasted maybe, I don't know, 2 times, like 3 times at the most with that one. And then he just wouldn't, he just had like different ways of freaking out. And I just knew, and I trained myself to not react, to not overreact, to not try to solve his problems. There was a child that I cared for who she would like, just wait. 7 seconds later, she's done. I go, you done? Yeah. All right, let's go play. And that was it. It was over. But she knew eventually that, like, eventually it didn't take many times that, like, it's not going to go far with Meal. It's not going to go far with me. So, yeah, you're not affecting me right now. And I'm going to wait for you to redirect your own thoughts. Okay? Because once one person realizes, and they're freaking out and they realize that nobody else is freaking out and they realize that no one's trying to make them feel better, then they start looking around and going, you know what? This is ridiculous. And they stop themselves. And then we're like, all right, let's go play. And then we go, and now we're redirecting our thoughts. Now we're thinking about something else. We done forgot about that meltdown and why we were even frustrated to begin with. That was because of rebellion with that second child. Okay. I have had a child literally just go, why? Because they know already that I'm just going to just do deadpan. That's my theater. Right. So this is like putting these different principles that are from different arenas and applying it to child rearing. Okay, so I use one little piece from theater, one little piece from massage therapy, and I put them all together. Bam! I give them deadpan. That last the other child, that this third child that I'm talking about, I just give them nothing. And I literally, I mean, it takes seconds. It takes seconds. It's like he's like, you can hear him. He's like saying something to himself. He's like, this is not going to go anywhere. I'm sure that's what he wants to say, but he's only 2 years old, but then this same meltdown would happen in front of their parents, and their parents like, oh, okay, no, it's okay, and it just lasts and lasts and lasts. We're so much so where I go, okay, listen, mom, pay attention to what happens, okay? Child falls or child does something and is frustrated because they can't do it right. This is what they do, and I go, and they're like, and then mom's just like, I told you. they have the ability to redirect their own thoughts. They have the ability to calm themselves down, especially if we don't give fuel to the fire. Oh, here's another one. I've had a child get frustrated and then I just wait. And then I go, that doesn't help, does it? And they're like, no. I'm like, all right. And they know right away what I mean, right? Like, so we don't cry. And then sometimes I explain it, like, that doesn't help, does it? No. And then I go, right. So we don't need to cry about that. And then sometimes now, sometimes after I've done that a few times, I go, that doesn't help, right? And then the child goes, no, no cry. Right. You don't need to cry about that. You cry if you're hurt. You cry if you're scared. You cry if you're sad. You cry if you miss your mama or your dada. Sometimes you can wait until they're done and then you go, do you need help? And a lot of times they say, yeah. I said, well, then say, I need help. And they go, help, or need help. And that's it. That's all you have to do. All right. When they're petered out, that's the time when you teach them what to say. You ask them what they need. Then you say, if it's, and I'm not saying like, what do you need, honey? I mean, do you need help? Yes. Well, then say, I need help. I need help. Okay. Are you sad? Then say, I'm sad. All right. So you're giving them what it is. You're not saying, what do you need? Because children don't know what they need at 2 years old, 3 years old. They don't know that yet. Okay. So you need to help them along. And that allows them, that teaches them to self-soothe. That teaches them to self-regulate. That teaches them that not everything is an emergency. And it teaches them to calm down on their own without anyone needing to be there to calm you down, to give you tools, to tell you to breathe, to help you, to tell you it's okay. I was that kid that was like, don't tell me it's okay. It's okay when I say it's okay. Let me cry. I would hear, and still, to this day, people like don't really think about it, but they say, no, don't cry, don't cry. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm sad. I need to cry. Crying is healthy, like, don't tell me not to cry. And so it's like, you tell me not to cry and I'm going to cry more, like I get upset and frustrated just because you're telling me not to feel what I'm feeling, right? But this is my emotion. This is what I need to feel right now in order to get to the next, to the next feeling, right? In order to sort of get it out of my system and then get through it, right? So this is what I think parents tend to do, is we tend to like, no, don't, no, just leave it alone. They learn how to independently get over it, especially when not everyone's freaking out or trying to solve their problem for them, because eventually your child's going to have to solve their problem for themselves. Your child is going to fail. Your child is going to fall. Your child is going to get frustrated, and they're going to have to learn a more healthier, calmer way to express it. That is all. This is Camille Who, and I am out.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Camille Who, the Child's Whisperer. A heartfelt thank you to the generous supporters of the Books and Beyond campaign. This series wouldn't be possible without you. If you're a new or expecting parent, I created Better Parent, Better Future just for you. I empower first-time parents to embrace a positive mindset and navigate those early parenting years with confidence and joy. Click the link in the description to learn more, or to find out how we can work together. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and keep leading with love.